Woo, you ready? Woo, took a little bit longer to get the intro on, but I was like, oh, I'll just say, woo, we're ready.
You got it. You got it. I love it. It's another Friday, October 4th. I can't believe it's already October. Richard, where has the time gone? As we like to say, thank you for joining us for Staffing Mania Live. You have
Yeah.
the yak and the shark ready to talk tactics. We're gonna get tactical, tactical.
Oh,
We're
really?
gonna get tactical. Yeah,
Oh boy.
let's get all the tactics out.
And I'm going. Dun, 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 dun. I pity the fool that doesn't work with the shark or the yak. A team in the house here on Staffing Mania.
That's right. Staffing Mania Live. Thank you for those of you who tune in and support us as we sometimes have our crazy moments on late on a Friday afternoon. You never know what's going to happen. But today we're really excited to talk all about the tactics of job searching. So a couple weeks ago, it's been a couple weeks because you know what? We've had things going on, the two of us. We've been gallivanting all around the United States, doing what we do, spreading the good word of Staffing Mania to the masses. But a couple weeks ago, we were very fortunate to have Sierra Cantrell, who is the Porch's Chief Joy Officer and Mindfulness Sherpa. And she talked about some tactics and some practices that you can start to employ to help get in the right mindset when it comes to navigating the sea of choppy job waters that we sometimes find ourselves in. Some things that you can do to practice to kind of stay focused, stay present, not get discouraged, practice a little gratitude and perspective. Because sometimes when you're trying to find a new job, it can feel a little tough. You can get a little down on yourself every once in a while.
A little down on the mat for 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah. Oh, good.
So,
Good wrestling pull there.
you love it, man. Come on. So at the end of the day, Amy, here's what I always tell people, and it's not to endorse ourselves, but if you're stressed out, that's where the recruiter, the job agent, or the workforce lifeguard comes in the hand.
I love it.
I gotta label all my three names, right?
I love the workforce lifeguard. I think I saw that in your signature a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, golly.
That'll be my title at Staffing World, by the way. On my name tag, workforce lifeguard. Yeah.
I love it. That's the beauty also of taking the reins of your purpose and your career, in that to some extent you can kind of call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, which is wonderful. You're the staffing shark, you're the the workforce lifeguard. I'm the chief evolution officer and change navigator. Rob Hunter, he's our MC, our master of communication. We just come up with fun titles. And I think that's actually one of the first tactics that I want to throw out. It was not something that I had planned, but when it comes to defining the role, the type of role or the work that you do, yes, you may have an official title at work, whatever it is they assign you or that's written in that job description. But I encourage you, whether you currently have a job or you're on the hunt for a job, give yourself a title that inspires you, that connects with the purpose of why you show up every day and who you are serving and how. I encourage you to come up with a fun title. In fact, recently, a few months ago, with a client that I was visiting, one of them actually pulled me aside. It was during a break in one of our workshops, and they said, "Is your title really the Chief Evolution Officer?" And I was like, "Yeah, when you work for yourself, you can call yourself whatever you want." But then, as a fun exercise, after the break, we went around and I'm like, come up with new titles for yourself, and we'll put it on place cards. We'll put it all around the room so everybody has a fun title that represents what they love most, what they care about most with their job.
You got it. Hell, some days I call myself a jackass at the end, right? It's like it is what it is. But you know what, Amy? It's just on a name tag for just people in internal job seekers. Get yourself a tag name. I'm gonna tell you, when you go to an interview and you have yourself a positive tag name, people's gonna remember that. I would definitely put that on my resume. Something catchy. That'd be great.
Yeah, because we have to think about it's harder, especially we were just recently talking, especially now with the amount of technology that is being employed out there to help maybe pre-screen or suss out, filter out individuals for jobs. if there's a way that you can, now granted, don't confuse the robot. Definitely still have the actual things that you've done, but if you can include something in your title, that will help you stand out, especially once it gets in front of human eyeballs when they're making the next step in the hiring process decision. And plus, it's a fun conversation piece, because if I were an interviewer and I saw a title like workforce lifeguard, I'd be like, we got to talk about that. I got to learn a little bit more about what that means to you and what that means to what you might bring to an organization.
That's right. Saving the job seeker's life. That's what I do. Here's a great one. You ready for this? And it just popped in my head. You know me, I'm just nonstop on a Friday. So recruiters, pump up your placements. Can you imagine saying that? I'm here to pump up your placements. You'll get hired.
Pump up the placements. Pump it up. Pump it up.
Oh, I'm doing Hans and Franz. I'm here to pump you up.
Oh, that too.
No, yeah. I'm not flexing anything today either. I'm just like, I'm pumped up on protein, by the way. Just let you know. 2 protein shakes already, Amy. Getting ready to start the weekend big time.
Your joy juice.
Yeah, we pump in the house.
Okay, so tactic number 1, when we think about if you're in the job market, or even if you want to stand out and you currently have a job, we think about the fun things that you can put, say, for example, in your LinkedIn headline, your LinkedIn titles. Lean into that. Lean into something that's going to catch someone's eye, that's going to make them, because again, in a sea of corporate pictures and the basic titles, if someone's scrolling through, having something a little bit different, whether it includes a little emoji, I'm a big fan of emojis, whatever, a little emoji or a really creative title, that actually might cause someone to just pause 1 second longer than had they just been scrolling through a list, and maybe even click on your profile and want to learn a little bit more about whatever the fun title is that you came up with.
Exactly. And they had professional pictures. I'm going to tell you, I know I'm going to an event. I'm not going to, NAPS is going to have professional pictures. They're done. That's great. But I'm going to tell you right now, hiring managers, they want you to be creative. That picture, like in high school going, like that cheesy picture, nobody wants that anymore. That's like, you might as well just pull something off Google. I'm being real. Yeah. Just have fun with it. I don't know what your picture's like on your LinkedIn and stuff like that. Is it casual?
It's semi-casual. I'm not wearing a suit, and it was at a farm, I think, but it's, it's probably a basic picture, but I feel like it's one that represents me. I think the one thing to that end, especially with the permeation of AI to generate headshots, which are both cool and scary at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you want to make sure that it looks like you. And that's one thing that I have repeatedly been told, which I take as a badge of honor, that when people meet me, they go, you look just like your picture, as opposed to that picture from 20 years ago. And I'm like, I want to present and show up authentically in the visual, in the picture that you see on my profile, and to have that match the expectation when someone meets me is very important to me.
Exactly. Big time. I've seen people I meet at events, and I'm like, holy cow, that picture on LinkedIn is like, you had hair at the time. Now you don't have hair. Yeah. Keep it updated a little bit, freshen up, but you know what? The AI pics, Aim, I like them at a point, but like you said, they got to look like you. A lot of these AI apps I see on LinkedIn now, they are so cartoonish. There's so many good apps out there that you can put yourself in. You've seen, I looked like I was at the Titanic, the hair's down in the air, but it's still my face. That's what people want, that kind of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 2 ways to stand out or to help you: first, have a fun title, and second, have a picture that actually looks like you and maybe has a little bit of flair to it, but still is authentic to you and how you look. So that way they're not confused or questioning, like if you were on a dating app and the person in the picture and the person that shows up at the coffee looks very different. You want to make sure you're presenting your authentic self.
That happens in real life too. Just not from experience, but my friends. I don't do them apps, but my friends, yes. Yes, nope. Whatever that picture was total AI surprise. That's what I call it.
AI surprise. I like it. So, Richard, any tactics that you have that you'd like to share? I dominated the first 2. Any?
No. I think a big tactic is, your resume. I think too many people focus on the font, all of that stuff. How many pages? Make it simple, but make it to the point. Bullet points. You don't need big paragraphs. but people also want to see what you do in the community. They want to see some stuff. If you're an Eagle Scout or if you're something, you got some awards, throw that out there. This stuff is just saying, you know what, I can achieve everything. No, you can't. If you achieved everything, you'd be the president. Or maybe not. I don't know. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, something like that. Or what I say is go in and do yourself a digital resume now. A video resume is popping these days. Do a mix of both. You got the black and white one. It doesn't speak. And then you got the one that speaks. We all love videos these days. We're in the MTV generation again, which I freaking love. So bring that out. Bring that 2-minute character out of yourself. And you know, Amy, everybody says, oh, I don't want to be on video. Everybody's on video. My mom's 78 years old and she's on TikTok. I mean, come on. Everybody's everywhere on video now. So 2-minute video resume, I highly recommend that.
Yeah. And to that end, if you are someone who maybe says, oh, I don't want to be on video, I'm not comfortable, I don't know what to say. Again, that discomfort sometimes shows up when you're not showing up as your authentic self, when you're trying to play a role as opposed to being you. So it's very easy for us to be ourselves and to talk about ourselves if we're comfortable with what we're presenting. If you're trying to fit a mold, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. And to that end, yeah,
there's a tip real quick. There's a tip for that. So if you get nervous on the camera, 2 glasses of red wine, you'll be good to go. I'm not gonna lie. The relaxation will be.
Oh, I'll be chill AF at that point. Although I do say my best ideas come after a couple glasses of wine, or just the ritual of the wine. Not always the wine. I don't want people to think I have a problem.
That's okay.
But I do some of my best ideas.
Amy, you said 2 glasses, not a bottle, did you? If you're drinking a bottle,
it might be more, but it's usually 2 glasses, one or 2 glasses. So, but to that end, I do want to add another point when we think about the resume. And this is something that I read recently that really resonated with me, is that when you think about the resume that you put together, a resume typically is a reflection of your past, who you were, what you've done. But when you really think about what you want to do, what is next, especially if you're seeking a new job, it's a little bit of a twist on how you think about a resume, and think about who or what it is do you want to do? What do you want to become? Like, what is the purpose or what's the type of job that you're seeking? And when you shape your resume, base it on that. And what I mean by that is don't lie and say you can ride a unicycle if you want to join the circus and you have never ridden a unicycle. What I'm saying is that look at the next job that you want, not just the one that you need, but the one that you want, the one that you will love, that will align with your purpose and provide fulfillment, both personally and financially. When you think about that, what's next, look at your resume, look at the past through that lens. So highlight those things that align with that, because if not, the AI or the recruiter is going to find jobs for you that is based on what you've already done. And is what you've already done what you want to do next? I think that's a interesting twist, or a different way to think about it.
No, I love what you said there. And also numbers. I see a lot of people putting all these big numbers out there. I'm going to tell you, half them numbers are bullshit anyway. It's like the job report that just came out. You know, it's like these numbers like, oh, I did $10 million, and you get in and you can't sell one damn thing in 2 months. I'm like, and what happened? So I think it's putting strategic stuff down there, problem solving, different things like that. I think a resume, it's like a trailer on Netflix. I always say that. It's this little intro till you get the interview.
Yeah.
It's not your whole body. You want to make a hiring manager curious of why they should call you. Don't give all your tactics out at once. Pull them in with some different grab things and say, you know what, to be continued in person. You like that? Oh yeah.
Well, and I could hear people going, well, yeah, Shark, but if I do that, then such and such company might not look at my resume, or might not take me seriously, or might not hire me. And again, I think it goes back to, who is it that you want to work with? What type of work do you want? And if doing something playful like that aligns with who you are and the type of work that you want to do, then bring that forward, and the right client, the right companies will appreciate you, as opposed to saying, well, you didn't fill out a 3-page resume and tell us your revenue numbers and blah, 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 right? It's like, that's checking boxes. That's not doing good work, I'll just say.
But everybody, even every hiring manager, has a little bit of a character about them, and they like that. I don't care what it is, engineering, something like that. You put that little stuff on there, it's going to go. I have a couple of people now I'm helping out with their resumes, and we're doing it, and they're getting some responses. So I'm just saying, yeah, is it the norm? No, but I'm not the norm. So it doesn't matter. You got to be different. If you just put at the end, references upon request, who care about that stuff anymore? It's like, that's so generic. That's taking up space. It's killing your ink on your printer, so stop it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing what everybody else does, then you're going to go in the same pile as everybody else.
What is your take on, here's a good one. How about your take on pictures on resumes? I know overseas they do it big time. I mean, but what do you think about a picture on a resume these days?
It's interesting. On one hand, my immediate thought when you asked me that was I like it. But I could also see, on the other hand, for those who maybe want to try to get in front of any type of unconscious bias, that they might want to omit that. So I think it's a balance. Again, I would say if it feels authentic to you, do it. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't, don't, because that's the bottom line. Whatever you're presenting, your resume, I like it. It's a trailer. It's like a highlight or a trailer for the movie of you and the movie of what you're capable of, or the movie of what your next career, what your next job is going to look like. And so if it feels authentic to you to do that, go for it. That's where I think we've gotten so, I think we're making shifts, but for a long time, we've gotten so we're trying to fit everybody in these neat and tidy boxes. And this whole idea of what it means to be professional, which I think is a bunch of bullshit.
What is professional?
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
A human person saying you should act like me. No.
Yeah. So I think that we're starting to loosen up the reins a little bit with that. And that's where younger generations can be an influence and an inspiration for us in that way. They have no problem showing up as their full authentic selves, at any moment, whether it's, whatever the situation might be, but, bully for them for having the balls to do it. And I think we can take a little bit of inspiration from them, at least when it comes to how you're choosing to show up as you.
I love what you said there. And back to the picture thing. People get so bad. Well, they're going to judge me. Tell you what, I'd rather be judged on stage 1 than stage 5. Yeah, and then you're going to go into the mental health zone, because we're all human. You know what? There's people say AI judges. I'm going to tell you what, in the next couple of years, AI is going to be, we're human. We're biased. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Yeah. People say we don't judge, but you judge on looks, character, stuff like that, little quirks. And you're like, I don't like that person because they cough 3 times or they sneeze or has hiccups all the time. Seriously. So why not get it out of the way in the beginning and stop being this fearful? Well, I'm going to wait to the end and open the door, and they're going to say, oh, surprise. And then your interview's 30 minutes. They didn't ask you one question and you're just gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you get hired and you're miserable. Right. Yeah. So I agree. Like, put it out there, because the people who are going to be biased, you want to weed those people out real quick, so you're not wasting your time. I think it's spot on. 100%.
It is 100%. And then the job seekers, this is something I think we should deep dive into, is like, I mean, they put a lot of hours in. This is a full-time job for some of these job seekers. They're stressed out. That's why I keep saying, call the workforce lifeguard. But all joking aside, they have, so where do they begin at? And I think we can talk about this sometimes, just posting on Indeed or Monster, these job boards, or LinkedIn, and just waiting. That might never happen. You got to be proactive. You got to go after it. And this is where I come in. I hate the word networking, because it's not networking, but reach out to your family, your peeps, your friends, start conversations up. This is where you should do this while you have a full-time job somewhere else. I mean, if you're in your 40s, you should have a family of all kind of people you could talk to, say, lost my job. Can you get me something? Or can you refer me in the right direction? But this saying, oh, I'm going to tap into my network again. No, we're not like just plugging in. I hate that word network.
Yeah. Yeah. And have a, I'll say cabal of allies on your side. I don't know if that's opposites of each other, but have a group of allies on your side. I think that's great to have that network or cheerleader, cheer squad, whatever it looks like, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, having that in place is
Like
important.
NWO, Robin Hood, that New World Order. Have your group with you, your peeps, your hardcore peeps, the four horsemen.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
woo! But no, all joking aside, that's what it's about. Like, it's about who you know these days. And I'm going to tell anybody, if you don't have a recruiter, and I keep saying this over or something like that, to guide you. And I think sometimes people get caught up in this. They get a resume person that builds a resume for them, but never recruiter. And they pay all this money for this resume and it's not producing.
Yeah.
And I see this a lot, Amy. It's like over and over again. It's like, I really think that you can get some advice, but you could do the resume yourself. There's so many templates now and stuff like that, because I think you want the resume to be you. If somebody else is doing it and then you go in for an interview and you don't even know what they put in it because you didn't look at it and it looks great. I mean, there could be a lot of embellished stuff in there that you're like, oh, I didn't know I did that.
Yeah. You bring up a good point on the flip side of that, Richard, as well, in that as a recruiter, if you want to stand out, if you can get good at resumes and offer that as an additional service that you provide to your candidates, to your, to your job seeking buddies, then that is just going to increase your value, your demand, and probably you'll have other job seekers coming to you through referrals because you did more than was expected. You didn't just fill in the template that the company, provided for you. You actually were really ultimately at the end of the day, which is what you call yourself, you were a job agent. You are their collaborator for success. You're their coach, their guide. And I think that's really important because especially if you're in a really long job seeking cycle, if you're doing it yourself or you're going it alone, it can feel a lot harder. And plus you can get in your head way too much versus if you partner up with someone to be your co-conspirator for success, and you have that person as an objective, but informed advisor, an individual to help you when it comes to crafting your next, right? Your next opportunity, your next job, then I think you're going to be much more successful and set up for success there. But I think the key is, if you didn't like your last job or you didn't like what you were doing in your last job, don't go finding another one that looks exactly the same.
And the grass is always greener on the other side. Don't ever. It's never greener on the other side. People think that they get more pay. And this is where I think, like myself, I can't speak for other people, but like I consult with people when I offer them a job and they have another counter job. Sometimes I say, go with that job. That means I don't make any money, but you know what? It's better. You're making 10,000 less, but you got all this health benefits for your family, your kids. You're making 30,000 more. And you're like, well, Shark, you just gave that candidate away. I don't like to lie to people. That's what keeps it real. And you have some people will call me now and say, hey, which one should I take? I'm making $30 an hour here or 35 here. Is there any health benefits? No. Dude, then you take the one that's even 23 with free health benefits. Oh my goodness. You know what that costs these days? That's another $20,000 on your salary. But people don't think that way. When they're desperate, they just grab the money and think, well, I'll pay for the health care and find a company. And it's hard, man. And you're going to be paying half your salary for health care.
Yeah. And I'll just add one more final thought because I know we said 15 minutes and we're
I know we're going on. I'm sorry, man. I'm just like,
I knew this was going to happen. This is something that both of us are very passionate about. We want people to be authentic, but also be informed and prepared and excited about their next opportunity. And I think that one more thing that I'd like to add, in addition to thinking about what you want to do next, not what you've done up until now, but what you really want to do next, thinking about that, but looking back through those past jobs that you've had and saying, okay, what parts of it did I really like? What parts maybe filled me up or got me excited or made me feel fulfilled and joyful? What things got me excited to show up to work every day and what things drained me? And actually do this exercise. This is what I did before I created Painted Porch, because I was kind of in this, I was actually kind of a little comatose in like, I don't know what is next for me, but I know that I can't keep doing what I'm doing now. It's not, I feel misaligned. And so I had to go through and ask myself a lot of those questions and think back, like, what am I good at? What am I not really good at? What did I love about the things I did? What got me excited? What would I not want to do, even if they paid me a lot of money to do that maybe I'm good at, but I really don't want to do. And through all of that, it helped shape, okay, what could my future next look like? And then is there something like that that's out there? Or is this something that I might need to create myself? And so I think that that's really important when we think about what do you want next. And obviously I have a little bit of a slant on this in, using something like an assessment like Working Genius, where you find the right type of role for you, the right type of job for you, not necessarily a particular title or even a certain set of strengths or skills, but you find the right job that fits for you, that will bring you both fulfillment and joy, as well as allow you to show up as your most effective, productive, energized self.
Look at you, man.
Yeah.
Well said there. All I can say is, you know what? At the end of the day, you know what? You can change careers. It's okay to shift. We've all shifted. Your college degree is a basis, so don't have to box yourself in that if you're miserable with that. Think outside the box. Life is short. We're going to tell you at the end here, motivational stuff. Enjoy life. Enjoy your job. It should be a lifestyle. So get out there and try something and bounce ideas off people. It's okay to ask people for favors. It's okay to ask somebody, hey, are you hiring? Even if it's your family member or friends, it's okay. You're not begging. You're asking for something. And then you know what? Once you get that job, then you pass that on to somebody else and do the favor for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great
Tony Robbins there. Was that a little Tony Robbins for you, Amy?
That was great. What is it? The greatest joy in life is doing good for others. I think he says something like that.
Yeah. Now you got me pumped. I'm ready. Land sharks, here I come. Or whatever I have tonight.
You're gonna slam another protein drink, and then who knows where the night.
No more protein drinks. I'm done. Coffee and protein today. That's not good.
Well, I think this was such a great conversation. I know we went long, and thank you to those of you who were watching along with us. And if you catch it on the replay, on the flip side, and you have some ideas or thoughts or tactics that you have found have worked best for you, or maybe for the candidates and clients that you've served, please share them with us in the comments, because together, rising tides lift all ships. If we can all be better and be more intentional with the way that we approach our next opportunity, our next job, our next stage of our career, the next chapter of our life, and we can do that in a way that maybe is less reactive and more where we are at the helm, then I think we're all going to be a lot happier and prosperous in the end.
You know it. You got it, peeps. Get out there and do it. We got your back.
Exactly.
See you next week. Take care, Amy. Give me a woo.
Woo!
Woo!